What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to debunk a couple of different myths for you guys, just to create some more opportunity for you guys to, make some money on a lot of different sorts of listings across Amazon's catalog. So today we're going to focus on actually listings where we can start to profit alongside of Amazon, right? And the huge myth that you'll probably see on across all of social media is that, if Amazon is on a listing, we have to avoid. And while sometimes that is true, and I will show you guys some of those scenarios, there are a lot of opportunities to make money alongside of Amazon, whether they're out of stock on a particular product that they frequently go in and out of stock on, or they're just kind of sharing the buy box, and we can kind of rotate through that buy box rotation again alongside of Amazon. So we're going to kind of approach this topic from a couple different perspectives. First and foremost, of course, I'm going to show you how to find some of these opportunities, how to source for these opportunities, so you can add this to your kind of sourcing strategy and kind of schedule. And more importantly, how to identify opportunities where we can, of course, make money alongside of Amazon, and some of the opportunities that maybe are not so interesting, right? So we're here in Keep a Product Finder. The first kind of opportunity that we're going to unpack is products where Amazon's on the listing, but they're not necessarily inside the buy box. And these are very, very, very easy to actually find. So what we'll do is we'll actually turn on products that Amazon's in stock on simply by just kind of setting an arbitrary $1 minimum inside Amazon's kind of filtering criteria here. So essentially what that's going to do is essentially tell Keeper Product Finder that we want to return all listings across the catalog that Amazon has a price. So obviously that's what the $1 minimum is trying to accomplish. From there, right, obviously we see 110 million products. That's far too many for us to actually sift through. So from there, we're going to come down and we're going to turn on third-party buy box sellers. And this is going to make a big dent in our results, right? So if we hit this button, turn this on, that actually brings us down to just over 30 million products. More than I thought, but 30 million products left from 100 million or 110 million down to 30 million, right? So significantly more than half of the results have been chopped simply by turning on and forcing the buy box to be within the control of a third-party seller. We can turn on that buy box being FBA, but that's not going to make too much of a difference for us, right? So we'll keep that on all. And we will actually scroll back up just to add some more criteria to what we're trying to accomplish. We'll do a sales rank max for about 50,000 just to make sure that the products that we're looking at are fast-moving products, are high-velocity products. That's going to filter our results down even more. And with that, right, we're down to, about 270,000 products, not million products, 1,000 products. We've made some significant progress. From here, right, we're going to want to add a bit more creativity, customized nature to the products that we're sourcing to this search, right? Because we still don't have time to go through 270,000 products. And so here you may want to, and of course, this is where kind of experience comes into play. I know that there's a lot of opportunity within Adidas, Under Armour, Puma, where Amazon may be in the picture, but of course, those are fast-moving products. They're probably not garnering and earning all the sales. So, for example, in this case, right, maybe we want to turn on Adidas as a brand. Brings us down to 2,000 products. Or maybe you want to set a category, right? You can restrict it to a category. But any kind of approach that you want to do to refine this a bit more would come in handy here, right? So this is maybe useful to dig into a brand that Amazon's prevalent on, maybe Oral-B, maybe Gillette, maybe Adidas, Puma, Under Armour. All those brands are kind of good examples to use here. But going back to what we're trying to do, right? We'll turn on Adidas, and we're left with just over 2,000 products. And so we want to look into Adidas, right, as a specific brand. And again, 2,000 products is still kind of a lot to go through. We can even restrict this down even more. We'll do 25,000 and see what that does for us. Down to just over 1,000 products. And so just to kind of glimpse of where we're at, let's dig into and kind of show you the nature of a lot of these products that we're going to be looking at, right? And so we'll kind of come in here. I wish I could move this. Can I move it? I can. Look at that. Look at that. Bang. So we can click into some of these products. And you'll see a common characteristic across all these different products, across all these different keeper graphs. And we can kind of, foresee what they're going to look like. If you, now it's in the way here, right? If you look and focus just in the past, call it 30 days, we'll see what we've kind of forced into existence with our results. We see Amazon's in stock at $17.99, and the buy box is with a third party seller at $17.75. Now this hasn't been the case over a long period of time, and so we'll kind of keep it rolling and look for something a little bit more significant. And this actually is probably exactly going to be what we're looking for, because this is a bit of a faster moving product, I think. I forget what the other one was at, but again, so not necessarily the case here. We see that kind of characteristic within the past couple days. Zappos is actually probably someone that we don't want to necessarily compete with regardless. So we'll keep it moving. This actually looks very interesting. You notice I'm kind of trying to filter the products in that, the little portrayal of the keeper in the bottom right corner, just to kind of get a glimpse of what we're trying to accomplish here, what we're trying to look at. So this one's actually interesting. The buy box rose to about 30 when Amazon's still in the stock at 18. But you'll notice like a common thread here, right? All of these products recently, right? No, it's not necessarily a longer term thing, but all these products have a buy box that has gone away from Amazon. And what we're trying to see here is we're looking for products where over the long haul, over the past couple months, 2 or 3 months, it has been consistently shared away from Amazon. Again, this isn't going to be necessarily a common occurrence, but it will happen. And this is a good example. Amazon's priced at $90, and we see the buy box consistently within a third-party seller around 75, 76. And so this is kind of a good example of, and of course, recently it goes back to Amazon being claimed. But if we just kind of segment here as an example of the sorts of products that we're looking at, this is a good example of just adding a little bit nuance to the sorts of products that we're looking to say yes to, right? A lot of people will see Amazon in the picture and immediately skip over it, right? Whether they add it to a filter that eliminates Amazon in stock, or whether they see the orange and just kind of shy away from it. But these are the sorts of scenarios where, in one example, we can start to profit alongside of Amazon as opposed to completely skipping away. So it's these opportunities where Amazon is currently in stock, but not necessarily owning that buy box. And this is going to be another good example around the same product. See, another example of the sort of thing that we're looking at. And of course, these are only Adidas products. This is going to kind of take shape across a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different brands, categories, products. That's one example, right? Another example is something where, and we didn't necessarily see it here, but it's simply Amazon in and out of stock, right? Amazon maybe is in stock at 20, they go out of stock, and now the buy box goes up to maybe 25, 30, 35, something a little bit more profitable for us third-party sellers. Something like that, right, is going to be interesting because, again, Amazon being in stock is going to shy away, filter out a lot of newer sellers from our competition, and then we can, of course, profit off of the scenarios where Amazon isn't necessarily in stock. So here, we can start to kind of diagnose and kind of dig into what we're looking for. And so one way we can kind of look for these sorts of products is simply filter out Amazon from in stock currently, right? So if you click that out of stock button, it's going to say, Amazon, I want only products, or Keeper Product Finder, I want only products where Amazon's out of stock. But similar to what we just did, right, if we just set an arbitrary $1 minimum, essentially what we're trying to do here is look for products where Amazon's currently out of stock, but they previously were in stock at some point in time within the past 30 days with an arbitrary kind of $1 minimum. We can do the same sorts of things, right? So 30-day sales rank, we'll set it at 50K. So we're down to 171,000 products. We can kind of take the same approach where that buy box is in a third-party seller. So we'll see what that kind of does to our results. We could leave that off. Maybe you have, maybe you have a specific brand, right? So maybe we want to dig into Adidas again, or Under Armour, Adidas, or Puma, any of those sorts of things. Under Armour. Any kind of brand where maybe Yeti's another good one. There's a lot of Amazon in the picture when it comes to Yeti. Or Oral-B, like a lot of those, it's kind of the brands that I already kind of mentioned. But what we're looking for here is this sort of scenario, right? These kind of the top two keeper graphs, ironically enough, right? So if we're looking at something like this kind of keeper graph, this is kind of the scenario that we're looking to profit on. Amazon's in stock, right? And when they are in stock, they're, they control the market. It's different than the products that we were looking at prior. But when they go out of stock, price shoots up to 25. And maybe 25 is not profitable, but it gives us more of a chance, right? And it shoots up to 38. And it shoots up to 38 again when Amazon goes out of stock. And then they come in stock and then it shoots up to 36. Something like this, right? And if it's, especially if it's more consistent or more, even better of a scenario, of course, this isn't something that we're going to want to FBA because then it takes time to send in. Amazon can come back in stock. But something like this, right? If we're looking at this product in this, this week, if we can go pick this up at the outlets or Adidas local store or order from adidas.com and have it come to us in 2 days, list at FBM. This is something that we can probably win at, right? $38 for this t-shirt is likely something that's going to be profitable. Probably easily accessible too, right? So we can buy it at $19. So we can buy it probably a couple different places for about $19. And especially if we're selling it at that $38 price point, FBM, we are going to be in luck because 15% margin FBA. Of course, we're not FBAing, we're FBMing. And FBMing is going to be cheaper fees-wise with things that are less than $1 or a pound. So if we put this to, $5 to ship, and now we're making about $7, $8 profits per unit, 20% margin on something like this, right? Where clearly it's selling because those offers are going up and down. And clearly, if we can act quick when Amazon's out of stock, we could be in business, right? So something like this, and of course, notice here, this is actually really, really interesting, guys, because it's priced at $36.90, right? And you're going to ask, oh, what if it doesn't sell up there? What if it's not selling at that $37 price point? Well, we actually, in this case, interestingly enough, have the validation that it is, right? Because look what happens here. It's up at $36.90, and then that line stops. The offer count line stops. And what does that mean? It's symbolic of essentially a seller selling out, right? Going out of stock. And so we know it's still selling at that $36.90, $37 price point because any stock that this one seller had is now non-existent. And so they went out of stock, product went out of stock, and now Amazon, of course, comes back in stock on July 18th. So something like this, right? Maybe, and of course, it's actually currently at $36.90, right? So it's currently at that specific threshold, and you guys could actually go and buy this right now and make some money on. But something like this, even if it wasn't currently at that profitable threshold, of course, we're going to FBM this just to be safe and be quicker to market. This is something that we actually could probably just keep a tracking alert on and say, well, if a new seller is ever priced at 37 or 38, I want to be alerted. And so you can start tracking it at any time, or I guess in this case, 36. And so in this case, right, anytime something goes or someone prices above 36, and that is the lowest price, it's game on from there, right? And so this is super, super interesting, right? And actually, again, this is product that you can go and profit off of right now. And there's going to be a lot acting similarly, right? If we kind of scroll through here quickly, same sort of scenario happens here with a lot of these, Under Armour t-shirts. Amazon can't keep in stock. And so if we look at the past 3 months, Amazon's in stock, they're out of stock. They're in stock, they're out of stock. They're in stock, they're out of stock. Right? And so Amazon's in stock at 16, and when they go out of stock, the price goes up to about $30, right? $35, $34 about. And we see, again, all these breaks in the line is validation that this product is selling. And so someone sold out here, someone sold out here, someone sold out here, someone sold out here, right? It's right here. Someone sold out recently right here. And it's actually out of stock right now. And if this is something that we can go find, and we're going to be able to sell it at like 37, 38, well, it's game on from here, right? We're going to probably be able to buy it for about that same $19, $15, $19, $13 potentially, right? So anywhere in that kind of range threshold, I'm not going to spend time looking for it. It's game on. $6 profit per unit. We're going to FBM, paying about $5 per unit to ship, and $6, $7 profit. $18% margin, $7 profit per unit. It's game on from there. And so this is, again, scenario number 2, where Amazon is kind of showing that consistent in out of stock activity. And something like this, of course, is a good opportunity to be very, very quick to the market, right? We're not going to want to stock up on a whole lot of units, send them into FBA and hope that they remain out of stock or go out of stock. This is something that we're going to want to see a scenario happen, wait for it. That scenario happens, right? And then it's game on. We're going to want to act and sell some units. Now, the third scenario is something where it has a little bit of nuance, right? So it's something like this, where Amazon's actually, a lot of these are going to be very fast moving products, right? So something like this where Amazon's actually showing in stock 100% of the time, right? And it doesn't appear that they're sharing any buy box, 94% buy box, or for the most part, right? But look what we actually do know, right? If you look a bit deeper, if you look under the hood, yes, Amazon in this threshold is pretty much owning the buy box 100% of the time. But what do we also know to be true? This offer count's not going to lie. And so we can kind of use this offer count as the single source of truth, the truth serum that validates that this product is being sold by third-party sellers, right? Because what do we know? That this offer count wouldn't be going up and down if people weren't joining the market and going out of stock. And so even if we just kind of dissect this time period right here, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, potentially 12 offers have gone out of stock. That's 12 different sellers have sold out of their stock for this particular product, when it doesn't really seem like Amazon is really sharing the buy box too much. And so the third kind of scenario that I want to kind of portray for you guys is be on the lookout for opportunities like this of fast-moving products, things that sell thousands of times, where Amazon appears to be in stock 100% of the time, but the offer count kind of tells differently, right? The offer count shows that people are kind of having success, joining the market, selling out, joining the market, selling out. And those are the kind of the opportunities that, again, most people are going to pass up. But if you have a bit of a more tactical, strategic approach to how we source, we can take advantage of things like this. And really the reason behind this sort of thing is we know Keepa is not a to-the-second real-time tool. Keepa is kind of like an aggregation of data, right? So it's not reporting every single second of these sorts of markets, right? And so at the macro, Amazon is claiming 100%, quote unquote, of the sales in the buy box. But in reality, someone in California is buying from a buy box seller X, and someone from Texas is buying from a buy box seller Y. Amazon can't possibly be fulfilling all the units across all the different states in the country in all the different buy boxes, right? Because we know the buy box is geographically affected. And so something like the fast-moving products, you'll see a lot of this, where Amazon shows and kind of portrays themselves to be owning 100% of the buy box, but that's just simply not the truth because, again, that offer count is going to be the single source of truth when we are looking at these sorts of products, right? So in this video, we went over 3 different opportunities where we can start to make money alongside of Amazon listings. Opportunity 1 is where Amazon is in stock but sharing the buy box. Opportunity number 2, Amazon is kind of in and out of stock, and the in and out of stock markets are going to be drastically different, right? So in stock market for Amazon is maybe 25. When they go out of stock, that may rise to 35 or 40 or 45 or 30, something like that. There's going to be a big delta between the two different markets, and that delta we're going to want to take advantage of. And then opportunity number 3, which is what we just kind of went over, is something like this where it's a really, really fast-moving product. It shows and it looks like a whole lot of orange that Amazon's in stock all the time, but they're just simply not gaining all the sales because that offer count says otherwise. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on this video, share it to a friend that's also interested in Amazon, and we will see you in the next one.